Everyone has a bad habit or two. It's what makes us human. Our weaknesses and vices are nothing to be ashamed of, but they are things we can work on. The first step to that, of course, is taking an honest look at ourselves. And if you're hoping for a little help getting introspective, you might be interested to know that your zodiac sign has a lot of influence on your personality, good and bad. Keep watching to see if you're more inclined to be chronically late, always complaining, or addicted to your phone. Before we get into the video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Now let's begin. Number 1, Aries, interrupting people. Ambitious, prideful, and always willing to speak your mind, it's no surprise that your big personality might rub some people the wrong way. Aries brains move a million miles a minute, which is why you tend to act impulsively, speak before you think, and interrupt people. And while it is a little rude, it's not usually done to make another person feel bad. Aries do think what you're saying is important, but Aries is already 4 steps ahead of this part of the conversation in their minds and needs you to catch up. Yes, you're excited in the moment, but it's still important to weigh the pros and cons before moving full steam ahead. Number 2, Taurus, spending too much money. Taurus is often called the most practical and sensible sign of the zodiac. When times get tough, you know how to handle it better than anyone else. But even you have a vice, which can be summed up in 2 words: retail therapy. Spending too much money is a hobby of Taurus and will be done with the biggest smile on their face. Ruled by Venus, the planet of love, pleasure, and money, you work hard and play hard. But if you're reaching max stress levels, giving yourself the 5-star treatment always makes you feel better, no matter the price tag. Whether it's getting a new outfit or ordering your favorite indulgent takeout, you certainly can spend. Number 3, Gemini, indecisiveness. Not all zodiac stereotypes are true, but this one is. Gemini tends to be the most wishy-washy and indecisive person, but not for the reason people think. It is very hard for a Gemini to turn their brains off, which causes them to overthink situations and change their mind a million times a minute. And because you're so sociable and try to be there for everyone all the time, it's challenging to be put on the spot and asked to make a concrete decision. A Gemini wants you to be happy and will go with whatever option does that for you, which some people read as flaky. Number 4, Cancer, getting in a rut. Emotional and moody, it doesn't take much to send you into hermit mode, Cancer. You may seem strong and collected in the face of high stress, but it's only because you know how to keep your feelings suppressed in public. This is fine when you have a healthy balance of social and alone time, but when things get to be too much, you retreat into your shell, sometimes for days or weeks on end. Once they start feeling sorry for themselves, it can be hard to get them out of that rut. This sign needs to constantly push themselves to get going. Number 5, Leo, running late. You like to be the center of attention, Leo. Charming and naturally hilarious, it's easy for you to make friends and steal the spotlight. And sometimes that comes with a bit of diva behavior. While it might feel like the sun revolves around you, that doesn't mean you can keep people waiting while you get ready. These lions spend countless hours tending to their manes, picking out their best outfits, and coordinating accessories to match the vibe. Remember, the party doesn't really start until you walk in the door, so be on time so your friends can start having a good time. Number 6, Virgo, correcting people. As someone who excels at giving practical advice and being the down-to-earth friend, constructive criticism is basically your love language, Virgo. But your no-nonsense approach to delivering the harsh truth, even when no one asked for it, can rub more sensitive types the wrong way. Virgo is the perfectionist of the zodiac, which leads them to micromanaging situations sometimes without even realizing it. In fact, when a Virgo corrects you, it's often a sign they respect you and don't want you to look foolish. But this tendency to pipe in and correct people when they're wrong can also read as petty, especially in laid-back settings. Number 7. Libra, always being on the phone. Sure, we all use our phones a lot, but you just can't put it down, Libra. You're the sign of the scales, but you're also a social butterfly who rules social media. How else are you supposed to keep people up to date on your fabulous coming and going? They spend time curating, collecting, and conversing and don't want any moment to go to waste. Being on their phone always gives Libras the outlet they need to be as creatively alluring and remarkable as we know they can be. Not to mention, you're also a romantic, so you enjoy seeing who's tied the knot or broken up and sharing your own love story with everyone you know. Number 8. Scorpio, eavesdropping. Everyone calls you the mysterious one, and they're not wrong. You feel things just as deeply as any other water sign, but it's rare you let those emotions crack the surface. They hold all their personal information close to their chest. Still, they have no problem listening to the people spilling their souls around them. Scorpios are so secretive because they generally distrust others, which is more reason to gather as much intel about them as you can. However, it can turn into a problem if it gets out of hand. This causes them to not give people a chance and has them making assumptions frequently. Number 9. Sagittarius, living without saying goodbye. Sagittarius is here for a good time, not a long time. You're always hoping from one adventure to the next, which means you guard your schedule closely and don't want to waste valuable hours among people you don't care for. Once the energy is off, a Sagittarius gets out of there, even without a goodbye to the friends they made along the way. Another part of this habit is that you need to be true to yourself if you feel a situation or person is negative in any way. In your mind, it's nothing personal, but that doesn't mean other people won't take offense to your blasé attitude and wonder where you've gone. Number 10. Capricorn, procrastinating. Capricorns are the workaholics of the zodiac, but that doesn't necessarily make you organized with your time. The more comfortable you are with the task at hand, the more likely you are to put it off until the very last minute, causing yourself and those around you inadvertent stress in the long run. Capricorns constantly procrastinate because they've been so successful in the past, putting off their responsibilities until the last minute. You could be drowning in work and deadlines, but nobody would ever know because you somehow always pull it together at the 11th hour. Number 11. Aquarius, playing devil's advocate. Rebellious and independent, you're highly intellectual and curious, which leads you to question anything and everything. A lot of people appreciate your perspective and willingness to push the status quo, but others find your need to do things your way more bossy than endearing. These inquisitive water bearers are always playing devil's advocate because they need to know the other side of everything. Noting that the most outspoken and rebellious zodiac sign is known to throw out some outrageous opinions, just to see how others react. Number 12. Pisces, daydreaming. Pisces are known for being sentimental sweethearts. And while it's true that you have a romantic streak, your dreaminess goes beyond wishing for castles and fairy tale weddings. As the most creative zodiac sign, you fantasize about all kinds of scenarios and what-ifs. Time constantly gets away from Pisces, so do not expect them to be attentive and focused all the time. You're not trying to be rude, your mind just wanders there. This is especially apparent when life gets stressful, as you feel more comfortable retreating into your perfect dream world.